His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. We wish him a quick recovery so that he can come back. Honorable Speaker, I think it is a very unfair accusation that we are impeaching somebody whilst in hospital. It has been said here, Honorable Speaker, that nobody can predict when you can be taken ill. It can happen to any one of us. And therefore, we did not plan that the Deputy President would not be here to also be able to present his case. And as Senator Roba has said, many people were in fact waiting to also get some clarifications from some of the pronouncements that have come from the Deputy President. Honorable Speaker, I want to also thank the parties that have taken time to appear before us, the case by the National Assembly, and of course the very able representation of the Deputy President. Honorable Speaker, it is clear that the case by the National Assembly is not perfect. But I have agonized over some of the issues that have been raised by the National Assembly. And Honorable Speaker, allow me to begin with ground one, where the Deputy President is accused of violation of Articles 27(4), which, Honorable Speaker, makes it unconstitutional for you to discriminate on, among other grounds, Honorable Speaker, on the grounds of belief. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, there is also an express provision under Article 73 on the same, and Article 33(3)(d) that specifically deals with speech, Honorable Speaker, that constitutes advocacy for hatred on the basis of discrimination. Honorable Speaker, yesterday when I put this question to the legal team of the Deputy President, I was expecting a proper explanation, but of course, you also that they chose to throw snide remarks.
Senator Gataya and Senator Tabitha.
Please pause my time.
When Senator Tabitha, you're speaking,
pause my time.
Senators give you a pin drop silence. The same must be extended to the Senator for Nairobi City. Sit down, Senator Mofire. Proceed.
So, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, yesterday when I put this question seeking clarification to the defense team, they chose instead to make snide remarks about appointments that have been made recently of members of my party, ODM. Honorable Speaker, I have agonized about some of the things that the Deputy President has said. In fact, in my entire time as an elected leader, I've met the Deputy President only once, and this is the second occasion when he was in the House. And both of them, honestly, were very sad events. The first one was a funeral, and these proceedings can also be likened to a political death if the House decides to impeach him. But, Honorable Speaker, on that occasion, I did tell him to his face my position on some of the utterances that have come from him, that in fact, I strongly objected to those pronouncements. His legal team sought to hide behind these coalition agreements. I have agonized over what to do with an agreement, Honorable Speaker, that ousts the mandate of constitutional bodies. For instance, Honorable Speaker, you are told that in the agreement, positions that essentially are supposed to be available to all Kenyans through advertisement by the Public Service Commission, like permanent secretaries, have already been dished out. So what am I supposed to do with a contract that ousts the mandate of the PSC, a constitutional body? What am I supposed to do with a contract that ousts the mandate of this House, Honorable Speaker? For instance, to vote for the person who sits in the chair that you sit in. And if memory serves me right, Honorable Speaker, members who are not signatories to the coalition agreement of Kenya Kwanza, in fact, participated in voting for you to become the Speaker. And many of them were members of my political party, ODM, although, of course, I was not one of them. Honorable Speaker, there is a position in law about what to do with illegal and unconscionable contracts. I feel that the Deputy President wasted an opportunity to give clarification on his pronouncements that, Honorable Speaker, he chooses to hide behind a contract that I consider unconstitutional is something that I have agonized over. Honorable Speaker, one of the questions that was posed to him is what, I remember a discussion about which is what are the strongholds of ANC and Ford Kenya. And somebody said that it is Western Kenya. Honorable Speaker, as SG of ODM, I know for a fact that Busia County is an ODM county. In fact, if you look at the statistics at the Register of Political Parties, the county with the highest membership in ODM is not Homa Bay or Siaya. It is actually Busia County. So the question I'm being asked by my members from Busia is, Honorable Speaker, if a member of ODM who resides in Busia wanted to be a permanent secretary, does he take his application to the local Ford Kenya office so that he can access the 30% for Western Kenya? And that is the agony, Honorable Speaker, that people are going through. Honorable Speaker, there was also the conversation around the public attacks on a judge. As a lawyer, as an advocate of the High Court, sworn to defend the Constitution, I agonize over what I'm supposed to do with public attacks on judicial officers, Honorable Speaker, people that I appear before seeking justice for my clients. Honorable Speaker, we have a discussion around also attacks on intelligence institutions in our country and the Director General of the Intelligence. Honorable Speaker, it was argued here that in fact, as a member of the National Security Council, the Deputy Speaker has a forum, the Deputy President has a forum to bring up
Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, none of us is enjoying these proceedings of an impeachment motion against the Deputy President, and particularly those of us from the government side, the Kenya Kwanza Coalition. And for obvious reasons, Mr. Speaker, because he has been our leader, we have been in the trenches with him, fighting for this government, and so it has come to this, and I can assure you we are not particularly very excited about it. I personally have interacted with him on numerous occasions. If you look in the internet, Mr. Speaker, you will see photos of me dancing with the Deputy President, Mr. Speaker. I have followed these proceedings very keenly, all the 11 counts. One, the gross violations of the Constitution, Article 10(2), the one that talks about the conduct of public officials, including the Deputy President. The one that talks about him being a principal assistant of the President and an extension of the presidency, Article 147, that talks about his insubordination, and one that SIFUNA has talked about, Article 160, that deals with undermining public institutions, and particularly the judges, Mr. Speaker. I have been born and grown up in Nairobi County, in Eastlands particularly. And where I come from, when we grow up, we are not even aware of each other's tribe. Our neighbor could be from any other tribe. And so when I hear the Deputy President talking and allocating shares to citizens, I am aware that he's excluding more than half the population of Nairobians from service delivery, the same people that me and SIFUNA are always here fighting for, every day, for allocations and for services, Mr. Speaker. And as if that was not enough, he was in the CBD the other day, addressing Nairobians in the Kikuyu language, assuming that all Marikiti traders are Kikuyus. Mr. Speaker, nothing can be further from the truth. And sowing seeds of tribalism in Nairobi is very, very dangerous. If you have seen the slum setup, where people live together, all tribes together, I do not want to imagine if you sensitize these people and make them aware of their tribes and their lack of shares in their own country, Mr. Speaker. And finally, in future, I want to call upon presidential candidates to make it a very critical attribute of their running mates to have political maturity and to have a national outlook, Mr. Speaker. Because to some extent, we want to put some blame on the president, because we are wondering what he looked at when he picked his running mates. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, as I make my comments on this motion,